Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. Today is Napalm Monday. Today, I'm gonna do my first ever reaction to Xandria, which is gonna be kind of complicated because to do it right, I need to do two of their songs. Why? Because they're a brand new lineup, and I know that classic old school Xandria fans are gonna go, but you haven't heard any of their older stuff. Well, I'm gonna do both. Why? Because this is a labor of love, and if you don't know what I mean yet, you'll find out. Hey everybody, let's get into this. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I know that there's a lot of passionate Xandria fans out there. Xandria fans are like a Nightwish fan. They're all about it. 100%. They love their symphonic metal. But Xandria has been around for around 25 years, okay? They've been around for about a quarter of a century. They've been doing symphonic metal all the way since the 90s, okay? And they've gone through multiple lineup changes. Like a lot of bands that have been around for a long time, they go through lineup changes. So this previous iteration of Xandria has gone through another shift. We have a new vocalist. She's half Greek, half French. That's all I know. And then I also know that the band has a new drummer, a new guitarist, and possibly a new bass player. So it's the core of the band has been changed as well. So we're going to get into this together. But to make sure I do it right, we are going to do Reborn, the new one. But to make sure that we pay homage to the Xandria from before, I'm also going to do my first reaction to NIGHTFALL in the same video, which means I won't be able to talk too much. So I got to limit my pauses so we can all get in this before 30 minutes is over. Deal? Well, let's get into it. This is Xandria from Nuclear Blast Records. This is Reborn, the new iteration. Let's get into this. I love me some symphonic metal. Let's see how much I can catch. New singer. We don't even know a lot about her. I know we're about to start the vocals, and I know people will be like, why are you stopping it right now? I just want to give a little homage to the band. Okay, so apparently we've got a pirate playing drums now. All the composition here is classic symphonic metal. Heavy chords, a good pace, like almost like the galloping of a horse, right? But you've got the symphonic choir in the background, the string elements, everything you need for symphonic metal. Because remember, you can go too far with creativity in symphonic metal, and then it stops being symphonic metal. A proper symphonic metal band, they can be as experimental as long as they remember that they're telling a story. Composition and arrangement have to tell a story arc musically as much as the lyrics. We all know that if you go to Wacken, Download, Hellfest, any of the pop festivals, right? And one of these symphonic metal bands gets out there, the whole crowd has their arms up, and they're just, because the music is as influential in the storytelling as the lyrics are. It's very important. They seem to have checked all the boxes. Now, let's check out this new singer. She, like I said, she's half Greek, half French. I don't know what that means, but that's what everyone was telling me. But this new singer is unique. I'm like, all right, are they? Let's find out. Like that. Okay, number one, beautiful woman. Definitely Greek and French. She's got that olive tone to her skin, that deep Mediterranean hue. You can see the Greek features, but unfortunately, my dear, your nose, I'm not sure if that's the half Greek or the half French. I say that because as a French person, I know It's okay. But her tone, her movement and her tone immediately make me think of another female artist. Do you know who I'm thinking of? Think about the way she's moving. Think about the tone that she's singing in right now. Very, very important band to me. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. Yeah. Her name rhymes with Carissa Franny. Just saying. Very much so. Seriously, if you put the whole band in plague masks, it'd be hard for me to differentiate right now. However, her falsetto is key. I mean, her falsetto is definitely symphonic, operatic. It's up there, and it's beautiful. So far, she showed us 2 different disciplines in vocalism. Okay, she's done the rich, alto, bluesy, jazzy, contemporary tone. Very Melissa Bonney, which we all love. Movements very comforting and seductive, yet you feel safe. That's what I'm getting so far. And then she goes into this falsetto. So already she's showing us 2 different layers. And that's good. It's good for a band. You cannot be a one-trick pony and expect to be in music right now. I've told this so many reactions in the last 2 years. With the COVID lockdowns, bands are having to literally reform themselves and say, we got to be as creative as possible. Because coming out of the COVID lockdown gate, everyone is taking it to the next level. You cannot just sit on your laurels from the past. You have to reinvent yourself. It's Reborn. I see it. I'm not surprised by the harsh vocal, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Good use of breaks there. I like that. It adds that weight. Cue the Fifth Element. Right? Are the stones in her? I don't know. Wow. That's that symphonic metal storytelling right here. This is a crescendo, the build-up. Ah, This is the storytelling. This is what makes symphonic metal unique. The instrumental storytelling is perfect. Okay, we are going to jump in. We're going to jump into the song Nightfall. I just want to say a couple of things real quick. One of the keys that we're finding out a lot right now is that vocalism in metal is changing rapidly. If you want to know more about some of the things I'm about to tell you, check out the Charismatic Voice channel. She breaks this down a lot with a lot of the interviews she does, because she does interviews with Tatiana from Ginger, and she even did one with Real Ramos, right, from Lorna Shore, where they put a camera down his throat to understand what goes on in his throat when he's doing his harsh vocals. You're seeing now where this is an amalgamation of, okay, you look at Nightwish and Epica, right? Symphonic, superpower metal, falsettos, big voices, storytelling. And then you have your ad infinitums, right? With your Melissa Bonnies, the melodic tone, the unique kind of metalcore feel, but it's with it's a sultry, dynamic voice, okay? And then you have also a section in here with the harsh vocal. You know, you've got your arch enemy, and you've got your, but the music is kind of an amalgamation. So you have all these bands putting out new music, right? And then Xandria says, here, hold our beer. We're going to do them all right now. Now, does she move like Melissa Bonnie? Yes. Does she sound like Melissa Bonnie? Yes. Is that a good thing? God, yes. But she has something unique. Okay? Ice Crown, to grab the apple, right? Nura Luhimo, she will punch you in the face. Tatiana, keep up with that if you can. Hers, she does this. The no finger. She gives you the no finger, which I love. I think it's awesome. So you've got harsh vocal, you've got melodic tone, you've got falsetto. She's a triple threat. Now, here's the key. Vocally, in the past, if you were arch enemy, you were harsh vocal. You were Nightwish, you were operatic falsetto. And then if you were all these other bands in the middle, you are melodic tone. It's no longer okay. It's okay to stick to one format, but you're seeing a lot of bands find these singers, both male and female, that can walk up and do 1, 2, and in this case, 3 different melodic disciplines vocally at the same time. Here's the catch. We don't know what that's going to do long-term to a singer's instrument. And Charismatic Voice does talk about that a lot. Like the data coming back on the impact of harsh vocals versus melodic tones versus falsetto tones within the same instrument, we don't know. It's a discipline that is still being sought after. That's why she's doing all this study, and she's getting into the science of it, which is important because we want to take care of these artists' voice. If you're like a Lauren Babbitt, okay, or Tatiana, going from a deep, resonant, harsh vocal into a power alto low range, it's easy, okay? But even in this iteration of harsh vocal, it was very soft and light and shallow. She didn't go deep. Maybe it's not her voice that does that. She can't go deep, but she has to take care of that instrument. If somebody came up to you and said, hey, you're a guitarist in a band, and the estate of B.B. King said, hey, You need a new guitar. We're going to let you use Lucille. Do you mind? You're going to be like, are you kidding me? Are you going to run around with B.B. King's Lucille and just bump it into stuff and just run around and flail with it? No, you would take care of it like a baby. For these vocalists, their voice is their baby. It is the only one they got. They can't go off and buy a new guitar. They can't just change the heads on their drums. This thing right here, they get one. And if you think that I'm saying that all harsh vocals are going to ruin people's voices and they need to stop, that's not what I'm saying at all. Because Arch Enemy's been doing harsh vocals for 20 plus years and that's what they do. But then at the same time, the falsetto vocal, the mid-tone melodic vocals, when you do all three, we don't know what's going to happen with that. And just to remind everyone, one of the most pure vocalists in existence ever was just singing regular melodic tones with a lot of power and completely lost her voice and almost lost her career. And that was Celine Dion back in the 90s. And all she did was sing power, clear tone. And even that, she lost her voice and almost lost her career. She had to go see a specialist and she had to spend the next 4 years not talking. She didn't talk to anybody. She didn't talk to her husband. She would tap on the phone to him in Morse code, or she would sign language or write things out because her instrument was that important to her. So as much as I love this, the jury's still out on the discipline of it. So for people who see this new Xandria and they're like, okay, well, the new singer's amazing, but I wish she would go deeper on her harsh vocal, or I wish she would go bigger on her falsetto. If she's doing a triple threat, let's let her take care of her instrument in the best way for her and just enjoy the fact she's doing all three. You guys do realize, I mean, she's kind of doing a Melissa Bonney melodic tone, harsh vocal, but at the same time, she's doing an Epica Nightwish where she can go falsetto up. Triple threat. It's impressive. Now, speaking of impressive, let's get into the previous one. We're going to go back 10 years. Because this is my first Xandria reaction, and I know that because I'm doing the new one, everyone's going to, well, you didn't do the old one. You know what? Screw you. Watch this. Nightfall. Let's go. That's an old Napalm Records logo. Wow. Let's check this out. You can hear the differences, but you can hear some of the things that haven't changed. Okay, let me point out the two things that to me are a little bit different, and then I'll tell you everything that I'm loving about this and why, even though it's two different iterations of Xandria, it's still Xandria. Okay, composition-wise and arrangement, it's straight up Xandria storytelling. But just, you can hear it in the progression, you can hear it in the chording, and the way they're using effects, breaks, different change-ups, transitions. It's very much Xandria, that storytelling arc. Vocally, this previous vocalist is amazing. Falsetto queen. She's going to go high, sit in that operatic tone right there. Do I expect a harsh vocal from her? No, I do not. But you can see the strength in her falsetto is much higher than your average singer because that's her comfort zone. And she's going to sit there, and she did do a little bit of melodic tone. You could still hear a little falsetto that little higher accompaniment, even when she's sang in melodic tone. That's her happy spot. It's a little different than the new iteration, where you see harsh vocal, a much more rich melodic tone in the middle. So your new iteration of Xandria is strong melodic tone in the middle, falsetto up here. We're going to give you that Xandria feel, but now we're going to kick you in the gut and go, it's a new day. So this iteration, kind of that line between falsetto and melodic, she's sitting in the line between, and she's floating between the two. The new iteration, sitting in that middle and touching falsetto and touching harsh. Both are good, but you can see the differences. That's really about it. Other than that, it's Xandria. The storytelling and the tone, you can feel it coming in. And that's a good thing. That's the kind of situation where if you're an old school Xandria fan, you're still loving the new iteration because it's still the same stories. It's still the same book of tales. And the front of that book still says Xandria on it. And you can love both iterations. I think it's a good, I'm looking, now that we're looking at the original, I'm liking where they've gone, but I'm loving where they were in the past, and you can respect the progression. It's a good journey. Let's finish ours out right now. We're just going to let it play.
Keep twisting our thoughts. Every day a new sensation. While a million creatures
Melodic.
see their soul turning to dust.
But still floating. Storytelling, baby. Transition to the big punch in that plot line. I like that walk down. That was smart. That was an awesome part break. That was slick. Okay, I want to. Did you guys just notice something? And I don't think this was on purpose, but think about it. Nightfall was in a church. Reborn was pretty much in a church. Both videos utilized fire. On Nightfall, there was a phoenix at the end, which is a symbol of what? Of rebirth. My name is Old School Nerd. This was Xandria. And this is my introduction to Xandria. So for those of you who are going to be coming into the comments, please be nice. These are the only two songs I've heard. I'm just learning about the band. I love both iterations. I'm hoping to do more reactions of different progressions from that first video from Nightfall. all the way through to Reborn and whatever comes next. I think Xandria has hit on something that a lot of us have been thinking lately, and that is it's time to change the game. I love this Nightfall song. I could see why people love it. I feel Xandria in both songs. You can feel the storytelling. The symphonic storytelling is there. I think the new Xandria is bringing stuff that is more common now, things that a lot of bands are employing, and they're changing and progressing with the style and genre that is occurring now. Some of that has to do with Melissa Bonney. Some of that has to do with some of the harsh vocals coming in, where you have no longer do you just sit in harsh vocals the whole time. No longer do you just sit in falsetto operatic anymore. It's kind of a blend between the two. Bands like Arch Enemy that used to do these, oh, I've never heard of that before. Or Ginger, is that really her singing, doing that harsh vocal after that melodic tone? Now you're seeing bands come out and go, we're going to go from here all the way down to here, and we're going to do it all in the same song. Why? Because that's just the natural progression of music. Just like the members of this band, they're not the same. They change. They have new projects. They go through different things. We grow. We change. We evolve. We go apart. We go our separate ways. We come back together. We do different things. Because it's music, the words and the letters from the band members that have left to the band and to their fans, that does mean a lot to the fans. It says that it's okay to move on. And that's important, especially nowadays with music. I think the rest of us could learn a lot from these bands that they go their separate ways. They have disagreements. Things don't, they go to something else. But the fact that they're doing this and they're communicating well with their fans, maybe we should learn some lessons from that and start doing that in our normal lives. Good on you, Xandria. My name is Old School Nerd, and this was my reaction to Xandria. All right, we'll see you guys later.